Hey, how are you guys? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen, and thank you for watching my channel. I have a lot of new stuff that I want to tell you guys about, and I'm so glad that the channel is growing slowly but surely, and I'm glad that you all are as excited about energy as I am. I think that energy is really like the way of the future, even though, of course, it's been around since we even existed. But what I mean is we're learning how it works. We're learning how it creates our lives. We're learning how it's a practical part of life. And I'm really excited to be at the frontier of that and talking about things that other people might not be talking about. And even though there are a lot of people that talk about energy, I feel like I have a different take on it because I see it visually. I'm an expert in the feminine. I clear negative energy like a facial, really quickly. And I feel like it's just such practical, valuable stuff to talk about. So anyway, I'm really excited to keep telling you more. And I have a couple ideas I want to talk about, but today I wanted to go into talking about Jesus and Christ and energy and the connection, because I saw this interview, you might have seen this, there are clips online with Kat Von D. She did this podcast with this Christian girl, I forget her name, and I don't want to judge anybody, and I myself am Catholic. I go to Mass, I get the communion, I pray the rosary every day, I pray the Divine Mercy every day. Jesus taught me how to do what I do, by the way, and I feel like I have like a potentially really valuable take on this, because when we talk about, like, to shed some light on this from what I know, and I know we can't ever say like I'm the only one who knows everything, but sorry if it's loud, it's very New York right now. I live in Manhattan, so okay. But when we talk about masculine and feminine, we're talking about masculine in terms of structure and time and all the practical parts of life. And the church really falls into that category, even though it's religious, because it's a structure, it's an organization. It is quite masculine, actually. The Mass itself, as a Catholic, I know it's an energetic experience. So there is the melding of the feminine, masculine, the spiritual world and the practical world together. But there is something that is missing, I believe. And I believe that I've been shown this, and to me it makes a lot of sense, and it feels right too, which is important with these things when you're trying to discern what is right and wrong. It's like, what feels right? Like what actually feels right? I believe that can tell you a lot about what the truth is. And for me, like, I was hung as a witch in a past life. I've had past life therapy. I've done ayahuasca. And in this interview, Kat Von D was like putting down all those things and putting down even meditation. I was like, listen, there's the spiritual and the energetic and the intuitive. And then there's religion and the structure and God the Father, And it's like, we are being so stupid as human beings when we make ourselves pick one. Who do you think created ayahuasca? Who do you think created the fact that meditation is awesome for you and your health? Meditation is not evil. How is that even possible? Like the work I do with energy, like Jesus taught me how to do it. He taught me the importance of clearing your energy and what energy is and how to change it. It's like part of life. Like saying that energy work is evil is like saying medicine is evil, because it affects your health just as much as medicine does. Medical practice affects your health. Medicine that you take affects your health. Your energy is constantly affecting your health. And think of all the things we don't have solutions for yet. The energy world, I've healed people, I've healed myself of Lyme disease. I did a couple videos recently where my whole face is red because there's infection coming out of my body because of the sessions I was doing on myself. Like, this is real shit, you guys. It's very real. And I'm getting really tired of us witch hunting in the 21st century. And like in 2025, like, let's stop putting down meditation and ayahuasca. These things are valuable. These things changed my life. And so does going to church. So does Jesus. So does praying. But he gave us everything we have. He gave us plant medicine. He gave us flowers. He gave us herbs. He gave us like it's like crazy to me to call anything that he has created evil. Like, it's so twisted. And to me, it's like shaming people too. And I think what she was trying to say in that interview is that we need Jesus, and I get that, and I'm on board with that. But I'm saying, can't we need Jesus and also respect the world that he created and the way it works, and the fact that meditation works, and the fact that ayahuasca works, and the fact that medicine also works, and like all kinds of things work, but we don't have to like make fun of those things. You know, to me, it's offensive, and it's like, it's not what I've seen from him. And it's the separation of the feminine and the masculine, which is the whole problem. You know, you don't bring people closer to Christ by shaming them. I know that never worked on me. And I've had my whole life people doing that to me. You know what brought me closer to Christ? Was being really sick, almost to the point of death in my 20s with Lyme disease, and not having a diagnosis, so I couldn't get treatment. I didn't know I was dying. And I went to every practitioner I could, and no one could help me. And finally, I just prayed to him, to the image of the Divine Mercy, and I got a diagnosis a couple of weeks later. But you know what happened after that? I started seeing energy visually. And I'm sorry, I'm really popular all of a sudden. I started seeing energy visually. And that's not from God. That's connected to the whole thing that happened to me, you know? And he gave me visions over years of what the resurrection was, what happened, the energetic process behind the resurrection. He gave me energetic expertise and gifts to share. Like, I feel like when he sees us arguing about these things, it's like he laughs about it. It's so crazy. It's like, why would you call energy bad? Or like, it's like God is energy. Like, to me, I don't know. We just kind of got to snap out of this old way of like separating, like, oh, this is good and this is bad. It's like people don't realize that Jesus is love. And then when you come from fear, that's not Jesus. Fear is the opposite of Jesus. Fear is negative energy. Fear is not Jesus. When you see energy visually like I do, you see light and dark. It's simple. And fear is dark. And so if you're fearful and putting fear into people, that is literally the opposite of Jesus. And you're doing it in the name of Jesus, which is like even worse, because you repel people. You scare people. You guilt people. You don't guilt people into loving Christ. You just don't. And here's what she was trying to say that I get. I don't agree with the way it was said, but I know what she was trying to say, which is this. If you're just doing those things, if you're just doing meditation retreats and ayahuasca and you're trying to do all the healing and la 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 la, and you are not connecting with Christ, then yeah, that's a problem. But it doesn't mean all that stuff is bad. It doesn't mean you have to even throw it away. Right? Can't we let the masculine and the feminine coexist, you know, for once? And that's the way it's supposed to be, by the way. And we're not supposed to judge and condemn people. And are there people who do bad things with energy and maybe don't help people and are greedy? And yeah, but that doesn't mean energy work is bad. There are also presidents who are bad people. You know, there are also doctors who are bad people and teachers who are bad people. And like, it's like people who do meditation aren't bad and meditation isn't bad. Like, do you hear what I'm saying? It's like crazy to me. This is the definition of evil besides the word fear. It's separation from God. It's separation from Christ. So if you're going to do all those things and literally separate yourself from Christ and never connect with him, and you are intentionally not open to that, and not open to the idea of resurrection, and not open to the idea that God, there's a God and he loves you, like that could create chaos in your life, because He is real, and it is true, and resurrection is real. And he does love you. And that's all. And the divine mercy is so powerful because it's him coming to us and being like so merciful. And I know that these words sound really churchy, but like literally merciful. Like literally like, don't worry about it. Like literally the opposite of what a lot of these people who talk about these things are like. He's the opposite of that. He's welcoming. You know, he's non-judgmental. He's like, he doesn't want to force you. And that's why I get really triggered when people try to force other people and guilt them and make them feel bad. And like, you can't love Jesus by being guilted into it. You can't. You hear testimonies and you hear people talk about it with passion, and you see the evidence that people's lives get changed, and you see that there's something really powerful there, and there's a really powerful energy there. And by the way, the resurrection energy is light purple. It's gorgeous. And he's a gorgeous man, and he's a real man, and he's really awesome, and he's very loving and very merciful, and he wants to help you. And it's like, yeah, talk to him. But like, my journey has included that, but also ayahuasca and past life therapy was really big for me. My work that I do daily is through the resurrection energy that he taught me how to do. He wants our souls to be cleared. I mean, like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but like, it's not anything that I've ever felt from him. And it's actually the opposite that I feel from him. I feel all the time, like, whenever I think about these things or question myself, he's always like, come on, like, what are you talking about? You know, clearing negative energy, that's holiness. That's divine work. You know, that's the work of a saint. That's the work of a great spirit. That's incredible. That's like exorcism. That is his work. It's rescuing our souls from darkness. Like, and I feel passionate about this, you know, I just do, because of my past lives and being misunderstood and being hung as a witch. I wasn't a witch. I don't think I was ever a witch, because I always feel like, I find that really funny to even hear that, you know, like, I feel like women were just hung as witches I would be hung as a witch, you know, if I lived back then, and I did. And it's just like being intuitive and being, you know, the way women are connected to nature. And it's like, how long are we going to condemn feminine energy for, and the connection with the energy world and all these beautiful things that God created? Like, feminine energy is not evil, and I can't believe I have to say that, but like, for real, like, it's basically what is happening is the condemnation of feminine energy and the spiritual and energetic codes and all the beauty of the energy world and the realness of it. It's very real, and it's created by God. Like, why are we making that bad? Why are we like putting down his creation? We don't condemn trees and, you know, say trees are evil and flowers are evil and don't use a flower essence because that's evil. It's not praying. Well, it's like God created that. You know, he gives us everything. Am I making sense to you? I want to know in the comments, am I making sense to you? And I'm also don't want to judge people. I don't want to judge like Kat Von D or the person with the podcast, but like, it's just like, I think we have to be balanced in the way we look at life. And to me, it's like logical, it's common sense. And let's be real about what brings people to Jesus, which is not like, I mean, I can't speak for her and where she was coming from. I'm not even saying that she was trying to guilt people, but I'm just saying that I think there's a better way to do it. Like, I was always intrigued by Oprah, because Oprah had like the most fascinating life to me. And she said on the very last Oprah Winfrey show, she stood on the stage and she said, I couldn't have done this without Jesus. And I was like, that's the thing. I knew there was something. All these years of watching her, I just was like, what is this thing? She's so magical and so joyful and so strong. And I was just like, and she's not perfect. She has problems and she's trying to learn and heal, but she has this thing. And I even grew up Catholic, and I never really felt that relationship with Christ. And when she said that, I was like, there's something there, you know? There's something there. And that brought me closer to him, because I was curious. And I knew that was the secret. But like, that's very different from like being like, yeah, you're bad because you meditate. I just think, and do yoga. Like, to me, it's insane to say something like that. And it's like wrong. It's just so wrong. And I think that I can't speak for Jesus, obviously. I can only speak from my own experiences of connecting with him, but it always feels so open and loving. That's his presence. It's so open, it's so loving. And I've never ever felt him be like, hey, you're bad because you did that. Hey, you're bad because you believed that. Hey, you're bad because you're interested in learning about that culture or that religion or the way. I never have felt that ever. It's more like all encompassing. All of creation is his creation. And so the question you have to come back to is it fear? Because if it's fear, it's not God. Doesn't matter how Christian they call themselves. And are they putting fear into people? Well, that's not God. Okay. And is it love, which is what God is? And what was the other thing? I can't remember. I have so many thoughts going through my mind right now. But you see what I mean? It's like, is it... Oh yeah, the other thing is it creating separation from God? That's the definition of hell and evil, is separation from God. So God is love, right? At the same time. So I just think that let's not like be crazy here, you know, and like act like everybody's evil who does anything that's different from us or anything like that. But instead, let's look at it like God is love, God loves us. But I think what the new energy coming through, which is very real, and I'm seeing this in a lot of places, and why I talk about Jesus more too, is because in the energy world, the resurrection energy is it. That's it. It's like, if you're gonna work with energy, you're gonna do all these things with energy work and all that stuff. Well, that is it. And the whole energy world knows that. They know the resurrection is it, meaning that it's the most powerful energy ever to exist and that ever will exist. And so basically he is the king. He's the powerful one. He's it. You know, he can resurrect us. He loves us. He created you, whether you believe in him or not. Like, and I know that doesn't vibe with everybody's beliefs, but like, I'm just speaking from my own experience and my own experience with the energy world, where they all know this and it's very practical to them. And I also think that like we call it different things, but it's the resurrection energy. It's the fact that the resurrection happened, redefined reality and set it up so that we're protected, set it up so that we can be saved, meaning that through him, through asking him for help, or just believing in him, we're never gonna fall completely into darkness ever. And it is a free gift that we get. And so I always encourage people, connect to his energy. You know, like, you're not going to believe in Jesus through even me telling you right here, but like his own energy will speak to you. That's how I learned who he is the most, was honestly like connecting to his energy, praying to him, but also like seeing him do things for me. It's a relationship. This is a guy. He's still in a body. He resurrected and went up into the sky, like literally. So like, he's in a body, he's a man, he's beautiful, and he knows you and he cares about you, and you have to build a relationship. You know, you have to like tell him your problems and talk to him like a person and ask him for help and watch what he does. And that's how you build faith. That's how you build trust. That's how I did it. He would do things for me and I was like, holy shit, I know that you did that. You know? Like with me getting a diagnosis and my life being saved, I was like, that was you, because I tried for years and I couldn't do it, and then I prayed to you and I got it. Like, that's how my faith is like unshakable, I believe, at this point, because of that. It's like, you know, and so you ask him for things and like try to get closer to him and just experience it. That's what I recommend. And ask him questions. I think it's a problem whenever any of us acts like the authority. I know everything and, I'm right. It's like, well, there are a lot of things we don't know, let's be honest. And the more you connect to him, the more you can get answers, and it's about that feeling that this is right, this feels right. And living in that space and having him in your life, like, I think that's what it's really about. And so anyway, that's my spiel, and I hope this helped you potentially be more open to the resurrection energy, because it's going to change your life. It's going to help you. And it's something you got to open up to with your free will. All right. So thank you for watching. So much love. Bye.